In 1996, during an archaeological meeting at the University of London, a British scholar displayed some bronze masks in a slideshow. Experts believed that they originated from Sumer, India, or Egypt around 2000 BC. However, the scholar surprised everyone by revealing that the masks were discovered in Sichuan, China, not too long ago. The question on everyone's mind was, how did something so similar to artifacts found in other ancient civilizations end up in China? Sangsingui is a significant archaeological site and Bronze Age culture located in modern Guanghan City, Sichuan Province. It was discovered in 1986, and excavations revealed artifacts dating back to the 11th to 12th centuries BC. Seashells from the Indian Ocean were found in sacrificial pits, proving that the ancient Sichuanese people had mastered trade routes from Sichuan to Yunnan, Myanmar, and India. But there's another possibility, that the Sichuanese did not take a detour but instead traveled straight to the Tibetan Plateau and south through the Himalayas to reach India. This secret route has not disappeared, but where is it, and who still uses it? Jianghe Shu Road is one of the most famous tourist attractions in Sichuan Province today. Visitors must sign a death disclaimer form before walking the path, which only offers 2 safety locks to hang on the edge of the cliff, with steps that average 30 centimeters wide and narrowest point only 15 centimeters. This simulation of the original Shu Road offers a glimpse of how the ancient Sichuanese mastered the technique of digging trails on cliffs thousands of years ago. Sichuan is a basin surrounded by mountains, and the Sichuanese have carved many of these paths in the surrounding mountains. The ancient herb collectors, merchants, and tourists traveled in and out of Sichuan along these paths, including the Shu-Shendu Road. Named after Sichuan and the ancient pronunciation of India, Shendu, this road led to modern-day Pakistan over 2,000 years ago. Zhang Qian, a Chinese official and diplomat during the Han Dynasty, completed his mission to the western regions after 13 years, where he saw silk from Sichuan in Afghanistan. Locals claim they bought it from a place called Shendu, which was more than 3,000 kilometers away from Sichuan. Emperor Wu of the Han Dynasty agreed with Zhang Qian's plan to find a way from Sichuan to Shendu, bypassing the northern nomadic nation Huns and buying war horses directly from Afghanistan. But despite organizing 4 expeditions that set off simultaneously, they were trapped in the ancient Dian and Yelang countries in modern-day Yunnan province. The expedition eventually failed to find the way to Shendu. In the late 19th century, a German explorer named Ferdinand Freiherr von Richthofen arrived in Sichuan to complete the unfinished exploration of Zhang Qian, who had traversed the Heshi corridor to Xinjiang, crossing the Pamir Plateau and naming the route the Silk Road. Richthofen was seeking a secret passage to India known as the Bodu country, and he believed that the ancient Shu people could build a plank road on the cliffs that would lead directly to the Qinghai Tibet Plateau and cross the Himalayas from the south to reach India by the most direct route. These 3 seemingly impossible tasks were accomplished in reality. Today's Sichuan stonemasons still master this ancient excavation method. They heat the mountainside with torches until it is hot, and then pour cold river water on it, using the principle of thermal expansion and contraction to crack the mountainside. Stonemasons can easily chisel open a piece of the mountainside with a large hammer and a lever and excavate holes in the gaps between the stones, forming the foundation of the plank road. There will be tens of thousands of such holes on a cliff. According to the efficiency of stonemasons, 100 of them can work at the same time, and 400 days are needed to complete 10,000 holes, working 10 hours a day. With the time needed to lay the plank road, the ancient Shu people could build a several 100-meter-long cliff road in just over 200 days. After all, not all places needed this kind of cliff road. According to estimates, the plank road only needed to occupy 1/10 of the route. In fact, this ancient road from Sichuan to the Qinghai Tibet Plateau has never disappeared. More than 70 years ago, when the People's Liberation Army entered Tibet, they walked along this road, which gradually developed into China's most famous road, National Highway 318, and millions of people use it to enter Tibet every year. The first 2 problems of excavating the mountainside and discovering ancient road remains have been solved, but how to cross the Himalayas after reaching the Qinghai Tibet Plateau? In 2010, a documentary seemed to solve the mystery. This is a small village called Jaresa, with only 600 people, located in the valley of the Yarlung-Tsangpo River. The valley faces south and is open all year round to warm currents from the Indian Ocean. The valley bottom is warm all year round, but it is surrounded by snow-capped mountains. 10 months of the year are blocked by heavy snow, and only in August and September will the snow below 4,000 meters above sea level melt. This will be a life-and-death gamble for the men in the village. Many supplies in the village, such as food, oil, building materials, furniture, and even washing machines, need to be carried back from the other side of the snow-capped mountains. The mountain they have to cross is the Himalayas. The villagers here belong to the Luaba ethnic group, one of the smallest ethnic groups in China, which means southern people in Tibetan. They have lived in southern Tibet for generations, crossing the Himalayas every year to trade with the Tibetans to the north. August has arrived, and the transport team leader in the village is checking the horses' hooves and preparing to depart. His wife says she wants a washing machine this year. The team leader remains calm, but the documentary crew is already scared. The leader points to the TV, cupboard, and other furniture in the house, saying that he carried each one back piece by piece. The transportation team departed from the valley and climbed Sula Mountain, which has an altitude of 4,650 meters, before descending slowly to finally reach Bomi County at an altitude of 3,000 meters. The team leader selected a washing machine weighing 30 kilograms, and over the next 3 days, he would carry it over the Himalayas. The team leader began transporting goods at the age of 11, following his father. When he was 25, his father passed away. On the first evening, the transportation team arrived at the base camp of Sula Mountain, where tents had been prepared in advance. During August and September, transport teams from various villages in the southern mountains will be dispatched. Whoever arrives here first can occupy the tent. The temperature dropped to 0 degrees at night, and they ate luxury food such as beef and rice, which they rarely had, to prepare for the difficult journey the next day. For the next half-day, the transportation team would climb 1,400 meters and had to cross the mountaintop before noon. The team leader had to walk along the cliff's edge because he did not want to hit the washing machine. Fortunately, he reached the mountaintop before noon and descended before nightfall to the grassland area of the Yarlung-Tsangpo River. On the third day, the transportation team entered the tropical rainforest, where the temperature rose to 30 degrees Celsius. No one dared to stay here because venomous snakes, bears, bowsies, lizards, and even leeches could easily kill people. At 4 o'clock in the afternoon, the team leader finally arrived home. When he got married, he carried back the wardrobe, and after his child was born, he carried back the walker and milk powder. Later, he carried back the dining table, TV, and washing machine. Finally, the team leader's wife said she wanted a refrigerator next year. This is the life of the Luaba people, who have been back and forth between the north and south of the Himalayas for generations. Perhaps the ancient Shu people did business with the leader's ancestors and together opened up this road to the world. Geographically, the valley where the Luaba people live is like a secret passage that crosses the Himalayas. Although it is necessary to cross the 4,650-meter-high Sula Mountain, it is already the best route in the Himalayas for other places. When the Indian subcontinent collided with the Asian continent millions of years ago, a gap was formed here. Crossing this gap can connect to the 318 National Highway, which is the ancient road connecting Sichuan and Tibet. To the south of the Luaba people's area is the vast plain connecting to India. Therefore, we have good reason to believe that there existed a hidden trade route in ancient China that started from Sichuan, crossed the Qinghai-Tibet Plateau, and then passed through the Himalayas. By utilizing this highest altitude trade route in the world, silk from Sichuan entered India and passed through Afghanistan and the Middle East, ultimately becoming a luxury item sought after by Europeans. Similarly, shells and handicrafts from the coast of the Indian Ocean flowed in reverse to Sichuan, directly influencing the artistic style of the Sangsingui civilization.